peoples? Mr. Anomaly coming at you again. Another day with Mr. A. Happy A Day, y'all. I got a good one here. This is a good one. this is a good one. But I tell you, man, they be telling on themselves, man. They be telling on themselves. I'm sorry if you're a romantic Gump who's caught up in the fairy tale ideology. I'm gonna have to burst your bubble here, man. I get no joy out of this, but I have to do it. You know, I just heard this clip, and this is coming from a woman. This is Gen Z is facing a romance recession, and you know,
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
I mean, we already know what time it is, but this anchor's gonna say something, and literally confirming everything I'll be talking about, man. Like I said, I got up here. Hey, man, we setting this up. 2017, got up here talking about I ain't having sex yet. There was a method to my madness. I just wanted to stamp my flag. I don't want anything to do with this fake reality that y'all are in right now. And again, she's gonna say something, and just the gears got to grind, and I'm just gonna have to go on a ramble here on just Babylon, men and women alike. Because I said before, I'll say it again: matches made in Tartarus. Again, we're gonna set it up again. I have to do this. We're in a romance recession. It couldn't have anything to do with these ideologies that a lot of these women are following, hook, line, and sinker. Like,
I was never giving my 20s to a man because I know the sacrifice that comes if you're an ambitious woman that wants a family. And I said, 20s, you can't have that. But 30s onwards, you can. Because
this don't have anything to do with it. They're free with their sexuality. Only with certain men, though.
Is age appropriate. When you are in your 20s, it's okay to play around, play the field, and play the game. But when you hit them 30s and up, it's time for you to be transparent about your sense of self.
You know, it just amazes me the lack of self-awareness that a lot of these women have, man. Oh, y'all forgive me, I can hear that rain. I'm in a mood right now. You know, the internal cultivation. That's why I keep saying you have to be a simulation to bang a simulation. Let me play this clip real quick. It's about 4 minutes. We're gonna get to the point where I'm gonna have to go on my little rant, and we'll finish it up maybe. I don't know, because I got a lot to say with this reporter. What she's about to say right here. She's good. Like the video. I already know it's gonna be a good one. Here we go.
We're in college. The girls would be like,
oh no. Well, I got ahead of myself here. Hang on. Here we go.
right now, finding love just isn't the top priority it once was, at least not for Gen Z. There's a new survey out. It shows about half of young adults between 18 and 28 just aren't spending anything on dating each month. Instead, they're focusing on things like paying rent, covering living expenses, and tackling student loans. It's a lot.
Just did that video the other day. Why marrying women over 30 is a trap. All of them in student loan debt, bro. This isn't an accident, man.
Even calling this a romance recession. So what does this mean for relationships under financial pressure? Joining us on this Money Saving Monday, we've got Emily. She's a personal finance expert with Raisin. So we keep hearing this phrase, Emily, about the romance recession. What exactly is that?
Yes, this is exactly kind of as you mentioned previous to this. The romance recession is really that we're seeing this trend where especially those who are Gen Zs are really pulling back on what they're spending on their dating life. Really with the implications of inflation, it's really changing what we view as affordable. So it's not that Gen Z is just skipping out on fancy, expensive dinner dates. They're even really second guessing and reconsidering things like going out for a coffee or a casual drink. Because
there's a reason for this. There is a reason for this. Never give your 20s to a man. They are getting involved with the men they want to get involved with, and then they want to sit up here and do this romance with certain men. Say what you will about Gen Z, a lot of these young guys are catching on. A lot of these guys are aware.
This can really add up. And when you have rising costs of living and student loans to balance, it can be really difficult.
I mean, this sounds really horrible, but I remember in college, the girls would be like, listen, I can't afford dinner or whatever, so I'm just going to say yes to that guy that keeps asking me out because then he'll pay for my meals. In college, the girls would be like, listen, I can't afford dinner or whatever. So I'm just going to say yes to that guy that keeps asking me out because then he'll pay for my meal. We're in college. The girls would be like, listen, I can't afford, dinner or whatever. So I'm just going to say yes to that guy that keeps asking me out because then he'll pay for my meals.
Woo! I got to cook on that, y'all. Before that, though, I got to... Hey, I'm feeling this right now, y'all. I don't know why. We jamming out. I'm doing the whole song too, so I don't care. A heart that's full up like a landfill. A job that slowly kills you, bruises that won't heal. Hey, you look so tired, unhappy, bring down the government. They don't speak for us. That's the jam right here. I'll take a quiet life, a handshake of carbon monoxide, no alarms and no surprises, no alarms and no surprises, no alarms and no surprises. Silence. Hey, silence. This is my final fate, my final belly ache with no alarms and no surprises, no alarms and no surprises, no alarms and no surprises, please. Hey, it's Miss Jabby, y'all. Such a pretty house and such a pretty garden, no alarms and no surprises, no alarms and no surprises, no alarms and no surprises, please. Hey, I don't know why I'm feeling that, y'all. Just had to bump that. Hey, guys, I got so much. I can just unpack what she just said right there. This is literally what I be talking about, man. She's literally telling y'all, if y'all been listening to me for a long period of time, I mean, y'all already know. But if y'all knew, how can you refute this? How can you refute this? This is all a game, y'all. And like I said again, I got to give the Gen Z young guys credit out here. They are listening to space. They are listening to the older guys warning them. Guys, did you just hear what she said? I don't think y'all heard what she said. This is very important. How you start is how you finish. When you play this game, why the last few videos I've been doing about these sexless marriages, it starts right here. And I'm not just gonna evil women this. I gotta get on you dudes here. I gotta get on you dudes. Because this wouldn't happen if you dudes didn't entertain this shit. And you guys are doing it hook, line, and sinker, these dudes out here, man. You heard what this woman said, bro.
Would be like, listen,
Costs can really add up. And when you have rising costs of living and student loans to balance, it can be really difficult.
I mean, this sounds really horrible, but I remember in college, the girls would be like, listen, I can't afford, dinner or whatever, so I'm just going to say yes to that guy that keeps asking me out because then he'll pay for my meals.
Guys, this is where it starts. And this, you know where it ends.
Because God took away my desire for promiscuity and all that stuff, that I didn't have a desire anymore, even like for my husband. And although my husband and I would have sex, it was like really hard for me. Like I really had to push myself to go there.
What is it about men? What is it about dudes out here, man? I don't get you. Like, what is it about men that can't accept that if a woman likes you, you don't have to do all that? Again, when she's in her 20s, though, whenever it's benefiting her, more than likely if she's in a younger age, she's not hitting the wall, she's in loser denial because she thinks she's unique. She thinks she's special. She thinks the rules don't apply to her. She thinks it won't be her.
I think society has just made us feel like life is a fairy tale. I have been told that a lot, like in relationships and by people that like, I think life is a fairy tale.
Let me go ahead and play it for y'all. I should already had that ready because I mean it bears repeating. It bears repeating. You tired of hearing me talking about it? You're more than welcome to click off, man.
That men can speak. Also, and the more this man doesn't even, or you have no too long, you're not getting there because you haven't fit the box of the fairy tale. So for me, it's helped me break down what all of my clients know. Y'all know I call it the fairy tale ideology. And I'm not exaggerating, Ken. I want to say 100%, but I'm going to go 99.9% of women who come in my office, I'm having to work on breaking their fairy tale ideology.
There's no turning back once you accept that Babylonian program, and then you want to sit up there and try to unpack what you've already downloaded. Then you add the imprint on top of that, and then you add the soul ties. Most of these women aren't going to recover from this. I don't know what to tell. Monk mode. This isn't doing anything but further proving what I be saying. She said a lot on this, and again, I keep telling you, you can sit up there and say, oh, women this, women that, oh, these bad women, but dudes, you heard what she said. The guy who keeps pursuing, the guy that keeps wearing her down, she finally lets him. And I got to get on you dudes because, again, some of you guys want this burning desire. You can't make a woman like you. I don't know what it is that y'all think that doing it this way is more noble. You really just want some pussy, but you're trying to slow pimp your way into a woman who's already gave that box away to Ted Bundy, Richard Ramirez, and Pookie. And you guys are up here gonna try to take it slow and try to take her out on dates, man. My boy up.
Look, the girl doesn't like you anymore. Can't you get that through your greasy head?
I can sit up here and bash the woman, and I got some more to say about her, but I got dudes, man, what are you men doing out here? And this is what I'm talking about. No internal cultivation, no self-worth. Why you guys think I got on this goddamn platform talking about I had 30 at the time? I had sex at 37 at the time. I'm trying to get dudes to focus inward, and it's not a game, and you gotta mean that shit. Because again, you can alleviate this crap. If you up here chasing after a woman, and I had a sub say this, and I'm gonna have to repeat it again. He says it's diabolical if you're pursuing a woman and then she in turns makes it look like she thinks she like you. That's deception. But if you a lonely mother sucker, if you a Deontay Wilder simp, if you think you ain't nothing without a woman, you're going to overlook all these goddamn red flags. Because I'm telling you right now, you have to have no connection to self, no connection to all to not see this, to chase after a woman who don't even like your ass, man. You can see this, man, unless you're just a thirsty hornball, bro.
Miserable death. Talking about you don't need nobody. We need each other just like water. Just like plants need water.
Just like plants need water. This dude's saying if I don't get a woman validation, I'm going to die. Like plants need water. If a plant doesn't get water, it's gonna wither away and die. You dudes, man. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get some of these guys. And again, man, I got some more clips here. I told you this is.
We need that affection, that physical touch, that affirmation from each other. We need that confirmation, that feeling of you love me and I love you, and I ain't loving you. You don't have the same equal amount of love. We need that energy, being on the same frequency with each other.
Bro, the dude literally had a Jezebel right there who he was talking to, completely ignored all the red flags. Dudes are just so hot box tunnel vision, man. The woman literally told you guys, the dude that I don't like, I'll go ahead and finally say yes. So I get a
the girls
meal.
would be like, listen, I can't afford, dinner or whatever, so I'm just going to say yes to that guy that keeps asking me out because then he'll pay for my meals.
Literally telling you guys the game out here, bro. And I see why Gen Z's checking out, because that's what y'all are dealing with out here. Sleep with certain men, have fun with certain men. Again, they don't do that with certain guys. They do not do this with certain men.
How would you make a guy wait before you give it up to him?
Depends on the guy. Depends on if I like him or if I'm physically attracted to him and the energy is there. Depends on the guy. Depends on if I like him or if I'm physically attracted to him and the energy is there and I think it's mutual and I feel as though there's respect. It could be sooner than later. But if I feel as though this is somebody who is a long play, you can kind of gauge that.
Village, the girls would be like, listen, I can't afford, dinner or whatever, so I'm just going to say yes to that guy that keeps asking me out because then he'll pay for my meals.
Initially, the energy is there.
How would you make a guy wait before you give it up to him?
Depends on the guy. Depends on if I like him or if I'm physically attracted to him and the energy is there and I think it's mutual and I feel as though there's respect. It could be sooner than later. But if I feel as though this is somebody who is a long play, you can kind of gauge that. Initially you're like, okay, you're just short term, or no, you actually have qualities that I could see bringing us into the future, then that person I might have wait a little bit longer.
Bro, I was talking like this when we all this information out here, man. If they don't like you, they don't like you, man. You can't make a woman like you. But again, if you think you ain't shit without a woman, and again, I can tell you a couple or three things by talking about not having sex. And again, for the normies, if there's a normie listening, rolling their eyes, nobody's coming from a place of envy. Nobody's coming from a place of hate. Nobody's coming from a place of jealousy. Told you, I'm a pookie for the Most High. They be thinking I'm gay. I don't want anything to do with this. I've had women offer the box. I pass because most of these, y'all are all connected. I keep saying you got to be a simulation, a banging simulation. Even the Pookies, the players, and all that, they all under it, and the Gumps as well. You got to be completely lost. I don't want anything to do with this, and everything's coming to fruition now. I'm glad the Most High kept me, so nobody's envious of y'all. I just like calling it out. When I heard her say this, I said I can cook on this. This is literally what I be talking about. How you start is how you finish. They ain't gonna be making MGTOW videos when she's not giving you any box, but I tell you, man, I tell you.
Last night I was out, and this guy who's been trying to take me out kept being like, oh, please can I take you out, blah, blah, blah. And literally, I made him answer questions that were prerequisites.
Man, get some goddamn balls. A lot of these young Gen Z are, though, because again, they doing news articles about it because a lot of guys are checking out. But you still got a lot of thirsty ass dudes out there, man. A lot of Deontay Wilder ass ninjas, man.
You're trying to take me out. Last night I was out, and this guy who's been trying to take me out kept being like, oh, please can I take you out, blah, blah, blah. And literally, I made him answer questions that were prerequisites to take me on a date, and he literally sat there and answered every question. It was.
This isn't. I've done numerous videos on this. There was a single mother I did a video on, but she literally had a dude. She was like, you have to do a 500-word essay to take me out. Dudes were doing it. Men were doing it. So I can sit up here and bash women all I want. I can't let this shit slide, man. There are dudes out here who are entertaining this. I don't get some dudes, man. And again, I know the thirst is real, how y'all try to project the double L's. I call it the lust and loneliness. When I talk about not having sex, those dudes, that's why I be going in on you dudes too. Y'all want to project your lust and loneliness onto me. And I grew up with that shit. I grew up around hornball pookies, want to gaslight me and stuff, trying to make me feel bad because I have my peace. Never gave a damn about getting laid in my entire life. I was always content with the all. I was always content with myself. Only when I was hanging around gaslit by hornballs. Then again, I didn't have these videos. I didn't have YouTube. I didn't have social media. It was just me in the universe. That's why I say I don't give a fuck, man. I get up here, y'all get 100% authenticity. Said it right that time. Y'all getting this real over here. I am not, again, I got so much to say about this. I talked a lot about the branding of Babylon. When you follow stuff like this, and this is all across the board, I like to talk about the community because who's the king of the community? Pookie. Who's the queen? Yaki wearing Keishas. And so many black men, just like her, they will mold themselves. They will download. They will brand themselves. My berserk nerds. This, again, I got so much. I'm probably gonna miss. This is not, like, there's so much I can say about this because it all starts here. It all starts here. And you ain't shit without a woman. Oh, I ain't nothing without a woman. I ain't no man without a woman. The brand of Babylon. Men are willingly playing these courses, playing this programming, playing this facade, playing this court jester just to get some views ran through Ted Bundy, Pookie, Richard Ramirez hot box that she done already gave away to the dude who she wanted to give it away to, who didn't have to do any of these things. You don't have to do any of this stuff if that woman likes you. I can bear witness. I've had numerous women plant themselves in front of me, giving me the googly eyes, want me to pursue them, want me to chase them, literally laying it at my doorstep. I didn't have to go please and answer questions and try to jump through hoops. And no, they weren't booger. There were a couple of booger boys. Nope, there were some cuties too. There were some cuties. Y'all can't tell me a goddamn thing. I didn't pass up on so much ass. It's ridiculous. And it's not because I'm some kind of saint either. I know what I am. I know what I'd be. I'd be out here in these streets like a Nick Cannon acting a goddamn fool. I'm not stupid. You think I want one woman? You think I want to be in a monogamous like? Nope, I want 3 wives. I've been saying that. Those who've been listening to what I've been saying. Jackula 3 brides. If I ever did do that, I'm just not in a financial position to do it. 3 wives. I ain't doing that monogamous shit. Trying to go out here and slay the world and just be loyal to one woman. Y'all can kiss my black butt, man. I ain't lying to myself. That's why I just stay by myself. I prefer it most because, like I said again, monk mode's absolute. You dudes, man, you freaking dudes, bro.
Pick you up, blah, blah, blah. And literally, I made him like answer questions that were prerequisites to take me on a date. And he literally sat there and answered every question. It was like, okay, who did you vote for in the last election? Like, will Cardi drive? Like, just some basically get to know you questions. Because I'm like, honestly, like, there's certain things I'm just looking for at this point. So, anyways, and then like my ex-boyfriend will just be like, shut up. Call you later, like it's just, you know what I mean? So it's just, you really can't win, I've realized.
You ain't wrong. You lose either way. Even if you get your woman that's a virgin, it's only an 80% success rate. And good luck. First of all, good luck getting a woman that's a virgin. And then what you do? You're gonna keep her in a box. You're gonna keep her off these smartphones. You're gonna live out in the woods somewhere. Why the hell would you want to do that? You can't win either way. Monk mode is absolute. Hey, you think for yourself. You do what the hell you want to do. But I'm gonna keep making the case, and I keep proving it. And with flying colors, monk mode is absolute. Think for yourself, though. And again, I don't give a damn who you are. She can renege anytime. Anytime she can renege. So again, that's the chance you take. Somebody asked me, Mister, you think you ever going to woman? No, I am not giving up my Samson divine sovereignty with the world. I'm not taking a chance on I'm not like that. I would never do that. Y'all don't think I ever had women come across me that said that crap? Nope, I'm good because I know 3 months, 3 years, 6 years, 10 years, eventually it's going to rear its ugly head. But you know what's not going to change? Me not having sex, getting stronger in this wisdom, gaining experience points. I told you when I first started doing this in 2017, I am not the same person. I didn't gain so much freaking experience, so much knowledge, and we still going. Y'all see how I'm breaking this stuff down? I was doing this before I freaking had clips. I was calling this out. The brand of Babylon. Dudes molding themselves, jumping through hoops to get these women, to get that tainted hot box. And I talk about the community a lot, but you can see that in any. I don't give a damn what nationality. Again, what's the universe? What's this mean? What's that mean? What's that mean? I don't give a damn what language you speak. You know what the hell that means, don't you? You know what that shit means, don't you? It all starts there. It all starts there. 98% of people in Satan's pocket. I've been saying it for the longest time. It all starts with sex. I think that was Schopenhauer that said that directly. Soon as after copulation's been had, you can hear the devil's laughter. I don't have anything with sex, but I'm completely against it under this, whatever this spirit is, this demonic spirit. It's a goddamn, I don't know what it is, but somebody ain't got no skin in the game. I don't want nothing to do with it. The spirit of ignorance. And when you mold yourself, when you willingly brand yourself to try to get a hot man, that's a spiritual taint that you're gonna have to work to overcome. And that's why I said I could tell men who've been drained by Jezebel. I said that before. I said it again. I'm 45. I look like the average 45-year-old man who went through hell, got kids, been through divorce. went through the ringer with some Jezebel because he was trying to be the square peg in the round hole, following the romantic ideology. Where my clip at? Where my clip at? Your boy cooking here. Like the video so it can. Again, it's not for my ego. It's so people can see this stuff, man. That's all. That's again, I told y'all, man. Compliments and insults are one and the same for me, man.
Has increasingly been tied to money. Expensive gifts, like love, has increasingly been tied to money. Expensive gifts, luxury bags, and costly dating rituals. For many men, the costs have outweighed the benefits, leading to growing disillusionment with marriage and dating. One online post put it this way: the benefits, leading to growing disillusionments, luxury bags, and costly dating rituals. For many men, the costs have outweighed the benefits, leading to growing disillusionment with marriage and dating.
I did that video the other day with the post-wall 30-year-olds. That woman was in debt, talking about if that dude don't clear her debt, then it's never meant to be. There's no love here. Huh? What? He got to clear your debt for there to be the love? And again, you dudes, you can't fake raw attraction, yo. You can't fake raw attraction, especially he's already been out there in the streets and had her bottom knocked out and created soul ties. You can't do nothing with that, man. No matter the lobster champagne taken around, it doesn't work like that.
Post put it this way: I was led to believe that being good to someone meant I could win their heart, but in reality, I was just paying for an illusion.
Being good to someone, paying for everything, paying for her lunch. I can win her heart. I'll win her affection. I'll get that Ted Bundy sex. I'll get that Pookie sex. If I do and help her out and get it. That's a lie. It's all soilless. There is nothing there. There's no foundation. Depends on the guy. If the energy's there, you dudes, bro.
And then like my ex-boyfriend will just be like shut up, call you later. Like it's just, you know what I mean? So it's just, you really can't win, I've realized. Because it's like, do I like the guy who's being really nice and like will answer all these questions? And like, it's so cute, he's trying so hard. But it's like, why am I just like still in love with my like ex-boyfriend from 5 years ago?
Why am I still in love with my ex-boyfriend from 5 years ago?
Always remember, you ain't first, you're last.
Y'all know what's coming.
Remembers. That's why I was saying the other show, don't let every man hit the bottom of your vagina, the root of your vagina.
They don't know about the bottom. They don't know about the bottom.
Yeah, that bottom one. But see, every man may not know because he might not have a penis to really know how to hit that bottom.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. I want to keep saying it every time they bring it up because I said it before, I'll say it again. A lot of you guys psych yourselves out. This is what happens when you're dealing with a woman who don't like you. This is what happens when you're dealing with a woman who don't like you. Your penis size don't matter. I've had women confirm that too, by the way. It doesn't matter. If she's into you, you rubbing on her, kissing on her and all that stuff, then she's going to get turned on. How do you know you ain't had sex? Get off my channel. Get the hell off my channel. You dudes are dealing with women who don't like you. That's all that is.
To hit that bottom and work that middle with a woman, she spread her legs wide and she starts screaming saying, yeah, daddy, that's it. Or she might start, she's gone crazy. So you don't let every man hit your bottom and your body remembers it. Just like a man will put a woman up and ejaculate it all in her brain. She's gone crazy. So you don't let every man hit your bottom and your body remembers it. Doing, especially if she's sneaking around with him and he has nothing to give her and her man is treating her better than whose vagina is it? Who it belong to? What I said, who? And then the woman start calling out the man's name, screaming the man's name. Then she let him know she coming. When she coming, she hollering. She calling for him. Man, this stuff is programmed all up in this woman's vagina, rectum, uterus, all up in this mind right here.
My part.
And that will actually bind her, actually reduce her to a calm freak.
They don't believe this is possible. Did that video with Brittany Renner. That guy, man, doesn't have that power. Why can't I get over my boyfriend from 4 to 5 years ago? You can't tell them nothing. That's why I talk through the Jezebel spirit.
Why am I just like still in love with my like ex-boyfriend? But it's like, why am I just like still in love with my like ex-boyfriend from 5 years ago?
And again, this is the society we live in.
It's age appropriate. When you are in your 20s, it's okay to play around, play the field, and play the game.
Then y'all wonder why there's a romance recession. Romance. Romance is dead because it's a lie. It's a freaking lie. Of course it's not going to last. It's not long term. It's false. It's an illusion. It's a fairy tale. And there's no moral. There's no ethics when it comes to this. It is what it is, man. Again, dudes are entertaining this. Dudes are entertaining this. There are some men waking up, but there are still dudes that are entertaining this. And again, this is where all this stuff leads. No sex with the husband. I'm getting an ick. I'm bored. I'm not satisfied.
Realize that in that relationship and in so many of the relationships I had previously where I cheated on partners, it was because I didn't know how to advocate for myself and what I needed in an intimate space. And so I became really bored and tired of just pleasing my partner all the time.
They can only keep the facade up for so long. They can only keep it up for so long.
The girls would be like, listen, I can't afford, dinner or whatever, so I'm just going to say yes to that guy that keeps asking me out because then he'll pay for my meals.
Nice guy who the woman isn't attracted to and who she never considered being with finally wore her the down until she said, ugh, fine, I guess. Because the attractive ones are putting me into a crazy, anxious cycle. And I guess because the attractive ones are putting me into a crazy, anxious cycle. Because the attractive ones are putting me into a crazy, anxious cycle. And now that woman is bored and sexually unfulfilled, but she's secure. At least she has that. Emotional security, the most important element for a woman to have to ensure success in a romantic partnership.
Partner.
So a lot of times what I see...
This is where this all leads. Anytime you hear these women talking, this is they mess with dudes who chased them down, who wore them down, who again downloaded the fairy tale romantic ideology. You chase her down, you eventually win her over, and you'll win her heart and her affection. I said before, I'll say it again. You have to be just as fake as she is. Even the nice guys, there's a naive gump spirit, and they just as false as a woman. He's living in a fairy tale too. This wouldn't be a reality. I've been saying this for the longest time. Like, there's a spiritual connection there between the nice guys. And again, it sucks that a lot of dudes gonna have to learn the hard way. A lot of men gonna have to learn the hard way, but there's a spiritual connection there. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a freaking reality. And dudes, I don't know. I guess what? I'm not qualified to talk about this again. I've always seen this. Why I'm single as French toast. Dudes got to learn the hard way. This is why your wives don't want to have sex with you. And it all starts there. Chasing after her. Wearing her down. That's what you're told you're supposed to do, and you'll get unconditional love. And then, just like the women, when you're in the muck and mire, you finally realize, like, oh, it's a goddamn lie. Why you got to get in the muck and mire before you realize it's a goddamn lie? Shout out to Gen Z. Shout out to these young guys out here. These young guys are getting hip to the game. Shout out to them, man.
Women are... So a lot of times what I see is that women are expressing my emotional needs are not met, aka their attachment needs, and I physically cannot get turned on by my partner anymore. In fact, they start to get disgusted, like they get the ick so majorly bad.
Bro, this is where it starts, man.
Girls would be like, listen, I can't afford dinner or whatever, so I'm just going to say yes to that guy that keeps asking me out because then he'll pay for my meal.
Bro, it starts right there. And this is the end result. Why, when she said this, I'm just like, golly, the gears got the grinding, and here we are. This is where it starts. How you start is how you finish. You can nip that shit in the bud. Rules, principles, standards. But it's going to cost me the woman-ass ninja. You goddamn right. If she's in this delusional fairy tale, if she's under the fairy tale indoctrination.
I think society has just made us feel like life is a fairy tale. I have been told that a lot, like in relationships and by people that, like, I think life is a fairy tale.
That's what you're going to chase off. And again, 99%. The problem is y'all like the women more than they like you. That's the problem. That's the freaking problem. It is what it is. Be upfront. Yep. If she's viewing you as a human wallet, she's more likely going to skedaddle. Again, even if you have rules, principles, and standards, she can always renege on it. I mean, there's nothing. The only truth is monk mode is absolute, man. She can play ball, get on your program for a little bit. I've done that. But financial abuse, what they call the dudes who want to take over the finances and lead and take charge. They say you're being abusive. They call it financial abuse. It is what it is, bro. Move accordingly.
open up your body and allow are not met, aka they are expressing my emotional needs are not met.
Just did that video the other day with the therapist. Oh, I'm not feeling safe. I'm not feeling safe, but you're feeling safe with Pookie when he's smashing you out, creating soul ties. You're feeling safe there. This is what happens when you play the game, the illusion of choice. And we live in a society that has masterfully gaslit men to make it think that you're actually choosing this. Well, I tell you, man, that witchcraft is strong, bro. They got you thinking that you have a choice in all this, and you're a walking, talking, goddamn romance, a freaking program, a sentient executable.
Attachment needs, and I physically cannot get turned on by my partner anymore. In fact, they start to get disgusted, like they get the ick, so majorly bad. And could you open up your body and allow someone to like penetrate your being if you feel disgusted by them? They feel like they're violating themselves and someone is violating them.
30 years old and I've been with my partner for 10 years. We met in uni and we have 2 beautiful children.
20. She was 20 years old when she met him. Again, get them young. Get them young. By the time they're in their 30s, they're going to hit the streets. You can't win either way. Even if you get them young, they're going to be wondering what they missed out on.
30 years old and I've been with my partner for 10 years. We met in uni and we have 2 beautiful children. I've always had a low sex drive and it sometimes bothers my partner. He communicates this to me.
That's what she told him. She told him that gump.
I try and improve, but we go back to square one again. On average, we have sex twice a week and he initiates it 95% of the time. Twice a week, that's not bad, you know. A few years ago, we had a rocky patch and broke up for 4 weeks. We were still under the same roof, but hardly spoke. During this time, I felt lonely and I reached out to the other person I've been with before my first ever boyfriend.
The imprint.
I spent almost every day with my ex and the sex was the best I've ever had in...
Then she let him know she coming. When she coming, she hollering. She calling for him. Man, this stuff is programmed all up in this woman's vagina, rectum, uterus, all up in this mind right here. And that will actually bind her.
My life. Why felt lonely and I reached out to the other person I've been with before my first ever boyfriend. I spent almost every day with my ex and the sex was the best I've ever had in my life.
Why aren't you going to
Suddenly the drive is high.
It's not a sex drive.
It's not the drive.
The drive is not the problem.
The drive is driving.
It's the car. The drive is not the
in
problem.
I suddenly became the horniest version of myself.
Of course you did.
He was singing
the problem.
The drive
is not the problem.
He became the horniest version. I suddenly became the horniest version of myself.
It's the car. The drive is not the problem.
I suddenly became the horniest version of myself. I suddenly became the horniest version of myself.
I suddenly became the horniest version of myself. Wow, y'all. Again, I just, I got the gears, got the grinding. This is where it all leads. No self-awareness, thinking you ain't shit without a woman, doing whatever it takes to please her, don't have no knowledge of self, no connection with all. This is where all this stuff leads, starting right there. As soon as she said that, I was like, wow, right there. There ought to be laws against you yapping your jaws. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, man.
Also had no problem with temporary casual sex. As me and my partner reconciled, I let my ex know and we cut things off. Please.
The ex even didn't want nothing to do with her. He can't afford the lifestyle. Something happened. Again, if the ex was willing to take her and her baggage, she would have left the gump. She would have left the nice guy. Trust and believe, she couldn't monkey branch to that guy. That's why she's back to him. This isn't some noble cause like she wanted to stay.
Oh, she did. He was single, so had no problem with temporary casual sex. As me and my partner reconciled, I let my ex know and we cut things off. Please help me, ladies. I do not want to be with my ex. That is clear to me. I love my man, but how do I desire him in the same raunchy way?
Now she gonna sit up there and go to that therapist video I did, download her 8-week course so she can just give her some bullshit that don't even make no sense. But I tell you, man, your boy on it, man. I'm just connecting all these dots, man. Golly, now she's gonna go to therapy and all that crap. No, she's gonna go to a therapist that tells her she isn't the problem. She can't go to a therapist that's gonna be truthful and tell her, hey, you're a whore and you married a nice guy. Nope, that's too judgmental. We want to go to a safe space. We gotta do a safe space. where they're not holding me accountable for having fun in my 20s. That's why Gen Z's checking out. The depopulation agenda's here. What do y'all want from me? I'm not gonna sell you no fairy tale. We don't do that over here. We don't do that. Your answer is internal. It always has been.
No, but not when I was sleeping with my ex. I hate that said to me, I love my man, but how do I desire him in the same raunchy way? My libido is so low, but not when I was sleeping with my ex. I hate that for me. I need some advice because I don't want my relationship to break down because of sex.
She wants it. She wants it all. You can't have it all, lady. You cannot have it all. As KS said, rest in peace, KS. Life's about choices and trade-offs. Nobody gets it all.
Listening to my man heard me listening to your podcast and sarcastically said, "Why don't you ask him for advice about your bedroom life?"
Bro, get the hell up out of here. But again, if you started off chasing her, pursuing her, and you finally wore her down, you ain't going nowhere. All right, man. I think I went on another. I'm probably gonna have to revisit this again because I just that's how it starts, y'all. And then here we are with these sexless marriages, and again, your kids are suffering. Your kids are seeing this energy. A lot of these young Gen Zs are seeing their fathers, cousins, brothers go through hell, uncles. They're not stupid. Kids aren't stupid. They see what's going on, and they are smart, and they're avoiding it, bro. Let's finish this up. You already know what I do. What I had to do.
The girls would be like, "Listen, I can't afford, dinner or whatever, so I'm..."
Okay, you're broke ass. Y'all want to talk about men being broke. Again, I'm starting to realize the more women talk, the more they're projecting. Most of these women that did that video today, women over 30, a lot of them are in debt, student loan debt, credit card debt. This woman literally admitted being broke and just looking for free meals. Y'all seen them videos of all girl clubs shut down like the first day because women aren't buying any drinks because they need freaking men to buy it. Just did that video not too long ago about China. A lot of broke Chinese women was out there ordering shit and just calling all the gumps to kind of pay for their shit because a lot of them are broke. They're in debt. Not trying to say that there ain't women out there winning, but most of them aren't. Most of them are in debt. Most of them do not manage money well. That's why they need a freaking man. It is what it is, bro. Going back and forth is pointless. Broke, broad,
It's actually difficult.
I mean, this sounds really horrible, but I remember in college, the girls would be like, "Listen, I can't afford, dinner or whatever, so I'm just gonna sit..."
This is why they be calling y'all broke. You want to go on coffee dates and walks in the park and sit. Again, get your standards, gentlemen. Get your standards. That pisses them off good. Good. But be wary, though. You might have a smart one. She'll play the long game. She'll play, "Oh, I'm cool, 50-50. I'm cool paying," but you're going to pay on the back end. You're going to pay on the back end. The only piece is monk mode, baby.
He's asking me out because then he'll pay for my meals.
Wow.
But really, people are pulling back on that.
Yeah, it's definitely now what we're seeing. It's not just about the money spent on a person. It's really thinking about the time that you spend with someone else. So Gen Z is also kind of redefining what even a date looks like. It's a lot more casual. Think, people going to hang out in a park or seeking out a free concert or even just going to hang out in a group at a friend's apartment. That now is considered just a normal date versus
smart
is when you traditionally think, "Oh, we're going to go out to dinner, we're going to have a drink or something, or seeking out a free concert, or even just going to hang out in a group at a friend's apartment." That now is considered just a normal date versus when you traditionally think, "Oh, we're going to go."
Traditionally think. That traditional crap was an indoctrination. It was marketing. That shit was marketing. That ain't even real.
Or something very official. Even these small acts, it's more about the time that you're investing in a person rather than those funds.
Do you think this will bleed over to maybe even the wedding industry? So when these people do decide to get married, because they've been so financially responsible during the dating part of their relationship, will that bleed over to when they decide to get married?
100%. I think something we're seeing right now.
That's why everything, the marriage market, that's why all that's crashing. The whole illusion of romance is crashing and burning. And I, for one, I have no issues with it. I think it's freaking hilarious because it's all a facade anyway. Again, you sleep with certain men and you want to sit up there and make other men wait. This is why everything is going to shit.
before you. How, as a man, the woman you choose is a huge representation of you.
Yeah,
right?
The woman you choose is a huge representation of you. What happens if you choose some fairy tale romantic program in Harpy who's freaking just head in the clouds and just fairy tale? What does that say about the guy? I've been telling you guys, matches made in hell. You are who you fuck. There is a spiritual kinsmanship there. I've been saying this because I'm like, bro, the fact that this is a reality, the fact that these two people are in this doing this song and dance under this freaking soulless, soilless, baseless illusion, there's a spiritual connection there. And it all makes sense. I've been calling this out before I knew what it was. I just didn't. Now I know. I get it now. But I sensed it. I said something's off here. There's a spiritual kinsmanship here. Told you, man, we gaining levels over here too. I'm breaking this stuff down, bro.
Before you. How, as a man, the woman you choose is a huge representation of you.
Yeah,
right?
it's a reflection.
Do you agree with that? That's your chick.
Yes.
If you're going to introduce her to people,
Yes.
that's my chick, that's my wife, etc. If 100 men have fucking used her and thrown her away before you, how can you say I have something special?
Again, she's bound, guys. How can you say you have something special?
Calling for him. Man, this stuff is programmed all up in this woman's vagina, rectum, uterus, all up in this mind right here. And that will actually bind her, actually reduce her to a cum.
How can you say you got something special when she's already done that? Again, we talked through the lot. I don't want to hear anything from you. We don't do that over here. We don't do all that back and forth. I'm speaking facts and truth over here. Man, get off my channel. I don't do all that. I don't entertain y'all. Y'all deal with too many simps trying to get in y'all's panties and don't have no self-worth, man. We don't do that shit over here, man. That's why they be getting quiet around me. They can smell it on you. They can smell if you're plugged into the matrix. You're lustful, you're lonely, you're Deontay Wilder, you ain't shit. They can tell, and they can tell whenever you're self-sufficient and you are freaking rock. They can tell that too, because they so used to dealing with dudes who a woman's words will make or break them.
100 men didn't want her, and I do. If 100 people pick up a sandwich and I pick it up off the floor and go, yes, finally, the best sandwich. That's not how the world works, right? This is the unfortunate reality of the world. And scarcity and value are the same thing. Why is gold valuable? Because it's hard to find gold. There's gold all over the streets. It's on every street corner. What kind of value?
And a woman thinks she's gold no matter what she does, getting throttled in her 20s, creating soul ties. She still thinks that she still thinks that she's the prize no matter what. You can't do anything with this, man. And it's pointless. It is pointless. It is pointless trying to go back and forth.
I don't care about a man's potential at all. I don't. I care about his productivity, because now you wake up with the man in his boxers on your couch in your refrigerator scratching his balls, talking about when his dinner ready, and he don't even know how much your rent is.
Right.
There's no way. I don't play sleepovers. I don't play house. I don't do none of that. That's not my. I don't play those type of games. There's no way a man is sleeping up comfortably or even coming over talking about something. I want to chill. My house is not an entertainment system, baby. That's not what we doing. You want to take me out, court me properly?
After the fact, after pooped and stretched her out, and she more than likely got kids too. She looked like she got kids.
And I'm not a virgin. Let me tell you, it's harder to get my now than it was then. I don't care.
Boy, I tell you, man, they're gone. They are gone, bro.
Everyone's had. Scarcity and value are the same thing. Why is gold valuable? Because it's hard to find gold. There's gold all over the streets. It's on every street corner. What kind of value? Right? So if you're a girl that everyone's had, your value is going to be destroyed. Your value as a woman comes from the fact that
they're not hearing it. They don't want to hear it. He's speaking truth. They don't want to hear it. They call you sexist, you're misogynistic, you're toxic, and they'll try to shut you down and sweep it under the rug. You can't keep sweeping truth under the rug. That's why we're in a romance recession, Gen Z. Everybody's being affected. The truth is going to boil over. You can't sit up there and keep lying, Jezebel. You can't sit up there and keep lying and sweeping shit under the rug. Eventually, it's gonna build up so much and just burst, man. And here we are. We're getting there. If it hasn't happened already, we're getting there, bro. I told you, I've been speaking this like this since 2017. I'm gonna keep doing it.
And not have you all over the streets. It's on every street corner. What kind of value? Right? So if you're a girl that everyone's had, your value is going to be destroyed. Your value as a woman comes from the fact that people want you and cannot have you.
Not certain men. Your value as a woman come from people wanting you and not having you. My fair maiden. A maiden was untouched. She was a virgin. She didn't have a whole face. She didn't have fun in her 20s. She didn't let certain men smash her and other guys pay for dates. You're trash to this dude, but this other dude, you're a queen, you're a goddess. But this other dude shit on your head and sent you on your way, but this dude worships the ground you walk on. Everything's confused. Everything's lost out here. That's why we're in the situation we're in right now. And you can't tell them nothing. Just did that video not so long ago with Brittany Renner, denying the spiritual soul ties. A man doesn't have that kind of power. I expect that from Jezebel. Of course, she's not going to see it. We already know how Jezebel went out. Jezebel went out with 2 middle fingers, defiant to the very end. So it's pointless trying to go back and forth with these women. Unless you just like arguing. Some of you dudes like arguing. I don't. I ain't got nothing to say. I like peace.
Come from the fact that everyone wants you and everyone's had you. So the number one thing a man's looking for is a woman who can stand next to him that every single man wants, and not a single man can say, I've had.
Good luck there. Good luck there. Let's finish this up. I didn't mean to. I get the flowing. I didn't mean to. The woman just literally said a 10-second clip, and I got almost giving y'all an hour video, bro. I told you I did not intend on doing this. I just be flowing, man. I be flowing from the survival scrolls, baby.
Traditional milestones.
Well, during the dating part of their relationship, will that bleed over to when they decide to get married?
Yes.
100%. I think something we're seeing right now is that a lot of traditional milestones, such as purchasing a house, getting married, having children, for Gen Zs, it's being pushed back. It's not because they don't want to do these things in their 20s. It's simply because they're prioritizing their financial situation.
She's talking about the women now. Don't want to give their 20s to a man, and that's y'all's problem right there. Don't want to give y'all's 20s to a man. But yeah, to be fair, a lot of dudes in their 20s can't. We just live. This whole country's fucked. A lot of 20-year-olds, a lot of dudes can't afford no homes and all that stuff anyway. This ain't like, again, the inflation back in the 30s and 40s. You could work at the goddamn milk factory or the freaking shoe store, or you could work in a damn store and support a goddamn family. You can't do that nowadays. Again, the depopulation agenda's here. I don't know where we go from here. Some of y'all believe in the rapture. I don't know. I don't know what's coming. But I tell you what, it's gonna have to get worse before it gets better. And Jezebel will not humble herself. So you dudes thinking that you're gonna have these women come back here hat in hand and please take me, which I don't know why. I keep saying this. I don't know why you would take a woman when she has nowhere else to go but to you. I don't get. You dudes will take a woman and she ain't got no other option. She didn't bing bing. She done bounced all around and then finally lands on your doorstep. And you gonna take her? Some dudes will, but Gen Z, a lot of these guys are checking out. I ain't mad at you.
They have rent payments to make. And with things like the rising cost of childcare, kids right now don't seem like a very financially responsible decision. So it's not that we don't want to do these things, we're just pushing it off until a little bit later when we're just in a better financial situation.
So really dating just is going to look differently. How can you really define dating now? Kind of explain it to the older generations, because for us, we're thinking, okay, if my daughter's going on a date, he's not even paying for her meal or whatever. We think that that's, a red flag.
Bro, this broad just contradicted herself. You already clipped it. You already know I clipped it.
We're in college. The girls would be like, listen, I can't afford, dinner or whatever, so I'm just going to say yes to that guy that keeps asking me out because then he'll pay for my meals.
That's not a red flag, though. What she's doing, guys, this is why I talk to him. That right there is not a red flag. But you not doing that is a red flag. They're gone. They're gone, bro. 99% under the romantic indoctrination. They are gone. They are done. Stick a fork in them on a tussle. This is why I do not go back and forth with y'all, man.
Too much talking, 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 too much talking.
Too much. I have nothing to say here. I have nothing to say to you, man. Where my boy at? I'm taking my time finding him too. Where he at? Where my boy at?
I don't know you, and I don't care to know you.
That's how I be doing. Hey man, we ain't doing that over there. I'm spamming this just like my boy in Skyrim.
I don't know you, and I don't care to know you.
You're out to lunch. You're out to lunch. The woman literally don't even see that she contradicted herself.
I don't know you, and I don't care to know you.
Well, I tell you. That shit's funny.
Now, kind of explain it to the older generations, because for us, we're thinking, okay, if my daughter's going on a date and he's not even paying for her meal or whatever, we think that that's, a red flag.
This woman literally said what she did in college. I'm not, boy, I tell you, man.
In college, the girls would be like, listen, I can't afford, dinner or whatever, so I'm just going to say yes to that guy that keeps asking me out, because then he'll pay for my meals.
But you not wanting to participate, that is a red flag. Well, I tell you, man, you can't let a woman dictate your masculinity. A lot of men do, but the smart ones tell them to go stick themselves, man. Seriously? She said that's a red flag.
Just the reality, because for us, we're thinking, okay, if my daughter's going on a date and he's not even paying for her meal or whatever, we think that that's, a red flag.
Don't even see it.
But really, that's just the reality.
I think something that's really important to consider too is that Gen Z is just becoming a little bit more comfortable with talking about their finances, even early on in a relationship. There's this term that they're using called loud budgeting, where it really just means that you're being open and honest and upfront about your personal finances. So say a partner asks you to attend an expensive event.
Partner, guys, again, red flags. I've been saying this for the longest time. Partner was the alphabet community. That's what they called each other, partner. Tell me you're indoctrinated without telling me you're indoctrinated. When they start referring to the husband as partner, that is a red flag. She talking about a red flag? That's a goddamn red flag. Referring to your husband as a partner. She is indoctrinated. Run, Forrest, run. That is a dead giveaway. I've been saying that for the longest time, because so many of them are saying partner. And usually when they say partners, it's some bullshit that's going to spew out of their mouth afterwards.
They're using called loud budgeting, where it really just means that you're being open and honest and upfront about your personal finances. So say a partner asks you to attend an expensive event with them. Loud budgeting in practice would mean that you would go back to them and say, hey, thank you for inviting me. That's not something that fits in my budget right now, but I'd really like to do this alternative activity with you that fits my budget better right now.
You think you're going to get raw, passionate sex for having these conversations? You think I got to agree with Coach, there's no burning desire here. You think you're gonna get some raw, pooky, passionate, raw sex?
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Man, the people are cooked out here, man.
Kind of more positive conversations and more open conversations around finances, which can actually mitigate difficulties down the line in a relationship if you're open and honest up front, instead of it being a taboo subject and then you have to have a big, scary conversation that can really cause some relationship problems down the line.
Which I feel like for so many, it was taboo to really talk about finances and to dig in. Are there certain questions that are way more appropriate to ask now versus, back when I was dating?
I really think it's more about opening up the conversation yourself. So being comfortable with...
I guarantee you this woman's married to a gump. I guarantee you.
I feel comfortable answering if my partner asks them, or what things would I want to know, and really having it as a two-way conversation more than just like an interview of what does your financial situation look like. Maybe bringing things up like, hey, I can't attend that event this week because my rent payment's coming up, or things like that. The more open and honest you are, the more open and honest your partner is more likely to be, because they'll feel more comfortable with that open conversation.
So interesting. Emily from Raisin, thank you so much for all of those details. It really is interesting to see how people are trying to change, especially with how tough finances can be right.
That was a good one, y'all. That was a good one. I heard that clip. I said, I got to cook on this, man. I got to cook. Again, man, this is the new day and age, bro. This is the new day and age, man. People got to be real about this, man.
Marriage is an old concept. Don't do it. Get a contract where both of y'all decide together what y'all gonna do with each other in case this sucker-ass union goes sour. And if you eat hoes, or if you look happy, it's gonna go sour.
I mean, if you're gonna take a risk, that seems logical to me. But again, if you're a human wallet and she's viewing you as a human wallet, what's she gonna tell you? That's not romantic. That's not romantic. But I tell you, man, get some rules, principles, and standards. That's your best bet. That don't guarantee it's gonna work long term. But hey, man, at least you can try to, have some kind of defense to this crap. But again, modern day marriage is for the birds. The milk's been spilled. The die has been cast. I didn't mean to go that long. I just went on a tangent, bro. I told you, man, that's where it starts. That's how it starts. How you start is how you finish. These sexless relationships, they start somewhere, and that's right there. It starts right there. That is my take on that, bro. Gen Z is facing a romance recession. It's going to have to get worse before it gets better. Y'all know what time it is. If y'all are still here, I know I went on a long tangent on that one. Y'all know what time it is, man. If y'all still here, go ahead. If you're still here, bro, like I said again, I had to jam out, man, and I just got to keep it real, man. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But milk's been spilled, die's been cast. All you can do, truly, all you can do is move accordingly, man. I mean, you ain't got no choice. You ain't got no choice.
Always remember, if you ain't first, you're last.
Hey, man, I ain't got nothing else to add, man. I didn't mean to go that long. Survey says one more for the good guys. I'm out, y'all. Laters.